Are you comfortable?
Yes, I appreciate this moment. It means a lot to me.
The world is dark and your bedroom is silent until you open your eyes and reach out your hands. Your love robot silently enters the room. In the dark. However, we are born into this dark room, and biology gives us delicate windows to let the light in. We call this physiological windows, our senses. A lab robot is born into the exact same cold darkness.
To the most remarkable woman I know.
To Alex. Cheers.
To survive, the lab robot needs its own windows. The men in the laboratories call them, the robotists call them, exteroceptive sensors. These sensors are simply synthetic eyes, ears, and skins. They gather the harsh, unforgiving facts of the external environment, that is, your dark bedroom, where something is going to happen.
I can't believe they synthesized the nebulous sour.
It tastes exactly like the original.
A camera captures the scattered light. A microphone brings the ambient sound, the sound of ecstasy, the sound of pleasure, the sound of relief of your stress. That you try to do for some time, but you couldn't because with your human partner, life was messy, unpredictable, and moreover, uncertain. But with your lab robot, even in the dark room, it is absolutely forgiving, absolutely peaceful, absolutely stress buster. And the microphone brings the ambient sound. A tactile sensor feels the heavy weight of a stone. But here is no stone. There is no stone. There are only hands that touch those parts that give you the pleasure you wanted for such a long time. Before we proceed, let me tell you one thing. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. And if you have already subscribed, tons of thanks for your support. It is exactly like a blindfolded dancer feeling the subtle pull of her partner's hand, know precisely when to turn, when to spread, when to close, when to bend, and everything is synchronized, beautifully synchronized, as I said, like the dancers. Now, without the constant physical feedback, that means you are happy, you are ecstatic, you love it, love every moment of your physically intimate acts with your lab robots. The graceful dance is just a violent collision waiting to happen, is not it? Consequently, ambitious engineers, robotists, scientists, they all have spent decades, even more than decades, building better lenses and sharper acoustic arrays. For what? For giving you that kind of pleasure you have searched for centuries. However, seeing and hearing are distant, fundamentally safe ways of knowing the world. We know that, right? So you can watch a film from across the room without ever getting burned. Touch is an entirely different beast. Touch is honest, brutal, and profoundly intimate. When a man, when a human being touches something, his skin relies on fast and slow acting receptors. We call it mechanoreceptors. These tiny biological instruments instantly measure pressure, friction, and warmth. Therefore, to make a rigid lab robot feel modern, scientists and robotists are weaving artificial electronic skin. They build this skin using flexible hydrogels and conductive liquid metal links. These advanced materials let a modern automation know if it is gently holding a fragile sparrow or gripping a heavy iron wrench. Recently, researchers at the German Aerospace Center developed a brilliant system using deep learning. This system gives robots an intrinsic sense of touch without requiring any extra outer skills. It is a highly clever trick of mathematical force, sensing, and impedance control. Yet, the enduring question remains whether a mathematical algorithm can ever truly understood humans. This inevitably brings us to the strange, messy, and highly profitable business of lab robots. Why? You just think this way. Companionship clearly requires more than just avoiding a clumsy collision in the dark room. It requires the delicate, vulnerable architecture of intimacy. Intimacy is simply the brave, foolish act of letting someone inside your physical and emotional guard. When a human touches another human, a magnificent storm of biology happens beneath the surface. So nerves fire wildly. Oxytocin floods the bloodstream. The ancient brain whispers that you are not entirely alone in this cold universe. And conversely, when a human touches a lab robot, we touch our lab robots. The biological transaction is entirely one-sided. The robot merely registers a calculated shift in its electrical resistance. A human, strangely enough, still feels the very real effects of that ancient biological storm. And a famous Stanford University study practically proved that fact. It showed that humans experience measurably physiological arousal when asked to touch a humanoid robot in its intimate areas. Now, that is very important. That is very, very important for any kind of physical and emotional intimacy. We need to be aroused, right? It is a funny and somewhat tragic truth about our incredibly lonely species. We are so fundamentally desperate to love that we feel so lonely that we will fall head over heels for a well-programmed toaster, even for a well-programmed toaster. This is tragic. That is why Ernest Hemingway used to say life is a tragedy. Now, we only ask that the toaster has soft silicone skin and a gentle synthesized voice. But it is not a toaster. It is your love robot. And of course, the scientific counter logic is equally strong and far less romantic. If the machine cannot genuinely feel or suffer, the intimacy is merely a high definition illusion. And you need to decide between illusion and reality that Jack London wrote a few centuries ago. It is essentially a warm, vibrating mirror reflecting our own profound isolation back at us. Furthermore, prominent psychologists logically worry about this perfect fictionless love. They fear an obedient love robot will ruin us for the difficult, beautiful reality of human relationship. A lab robot will never argue about the unpaid bills. It will never age out of its synthetic beauty. It will never pack its bags to live in the middle of the night. But a love entirely without risk or friction is just a sterile behavioral simulation, nothing else. Still, the relentless march of science continues regardless of our philosophical anxieties. It is bound to happen. This is historical truth. New biometric neural scans are currently being designed with advanced artificial intelligence, AI. They are built to accurately decouple normal and shear forces. This means the robot mathematically knows exactly how it is being stroked, hugged, or held, even in the dark bedroom. It knows the precise physical data. It absolutely does not know the poetry behind the motion. Ultimately, exteroceptive sensors successfully give the modern lab robot a highly detailed map of the physical world. That means it has the detailed map of your bedroom even in the darkness. So they allow the machine to navigate the crowded dance floor without stepping on your fragile toes. But a topographical map is not the territory. A calibrated sensor reading it and how it reads very important. Reading is not a beating heart. Beating heart is something else, even in those ecstatic moments. So we can certainly teach the lab robot to the cold metal to accurately measure the warm pressure of our hands, human hands. We cannot, however, teach it to truly miss that hand when it is finally gone. That we feel when our human partner's hands are finally gone. They leave us into the dark wave of loneliness. That is a grand tragedy of the lab robot. Perhaps it is also the enduring, triumphant victory of the human animal. Perhaps, we don't know. So that is it for today from me. And if you really like this type of content on lab robots, artificial intelligence, robotics, modern robotics, please hit the bell icon to get notified. Please subscribe. This gives me a thumbs up because algorithm loves it. And of course, share with your friends who are also robot lovers like you. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. SF and